Hey everybody, today we're going to be reviewing Ruvo, R-U-V-O. There's one in Greenlawn, there's one in Port Jefferson. We went to the one in Port Jefferson. Ambiance, as you're walking up, really quaint. Like if you know Port Jefferson, it's a very quaint town. Definitely worth visiting the town itself, walking around, lots of shops on the water there. So if you're on Long Island looking for a quaint village, that's the place to check out, one of the places. We'll get into more. Ruvo itself is a very nice looking restaurant from the outside. You walk in, it definitely feels like Italian. It is an Italian restaurant, but you feel like you're in Tuscany. The benches themselves on the restaurant, they're actually made from like church pews, and there's some glass that's made from probably taken from a church. So I like the atmosphere.
Right, I think it was all repurposed stuff from an old church or something, recushioned, very quaint, pretty to walk up to. There's outside dining, there's inside dining. We chose the inside dining only because it was a warm night and the sun was on the deck. There is an overhang, but at that point the sun had been down over the deck, so we sat inside. It was a good place.
We're going to talk a little about the drinks. I took a look. I was concerned. I'll get into more of that. I feel like I love my wine. I'm total wino. However, it's got to be a good glass. Otherwise, I seem to get headaches, and I don't think it's psychological. I definitely I'm prone to developing headaches. I get migraines. So I'm very careful with the wine that I drink. I decided just to go for a club soda. It's my go-to lately. Some club soda, lime, and some mint in it. So you can't go wrong there.
Okay, let's see. So we two of us had club sodas, and then I had a old fashioned. Now there was no orange in it. There was one cherry drowning at the bottom of my drink. It was very sweet, and everybody has their own idea of how to make a drink or how to make an old fashioned. It was a little too sweet for my taste, but it wasn't bad, and lots of ice. If I'm not sure that I would order it again, but I thought it was okay.
So we're going to move on to the food. My sister-in-law, Bob's sister Joan, was with us. She ordered the chicken parm. She said 9.5 out of 10. So, but she loves her chicken parm. She goes different places for her chicken parm, and she gave it a good rating. I took a look. I was going to get the market fish. There was a special, but I had swordfish, and although I love fish, swordfish is a fish that I actually don't eat much of. I don't like it for whatever the reason. So I decided to stick, and I looked on the menu. I'm always trying to watch my weight. So I was like, okay, salad and a grilled salmon. It was definitely a good piece of salmon. But the rest of the salad, nothing special. There was some spinach in it, a small amount of gorgonzola salad, gorgonzola cheese. I thought it was on the plain side, to be honest with you. Did oil and vinegar. But the salad itself, I probably give it like a 7 or an 8. That's how I felt about my meal.
So we ordered an appetizer or Caesar salad first, and I thought the Caesar salad was a good portion. We split it 3 ways, and there was still plenty of salad for all of us. It was a really good salad. They dressed it with real anchovies, and not just the paste was in it. I don't think it was drowning in Caesar dressing like sometimes you find.
Croutons were excellent.
Yeah, I thought the salad, the Caesar salad that we had was excellent. I had a steak. Now, steaks are always tough when you go out to dinner because sometimes there's $60, $70, $75 for a steak, and it's a little out of my price range for just a steak. And then I get a little nervous if it's not good. I really get it kind of makes you kind of pissy over the whole idea, right? This was a price range of around $43. For the price, it was good. It wasn't the best. I can't say that I would go back there and order the steak. Probably try something else. Their menu actually is pretty extensive. They have American stuff. They have Italian stuff. My sister's chicken parm. That looked very impressive. It was a good sized portion. She thought it was very tender. She thought the cheese on top was excellent. I think real fresh mozzarella. I don't know. What was the other?
It looked like they really pounded the chicken cutlets and fried them, and so it was very thin rather than, I feel like the thicker that it is, it's not as tender. But she absolutely loved it. We did not do dessert there. We went on to walk around, and there's several ice cream places within Port Jeff. One had a line of like, how many people were on that line?
Could have been 50 people easily, and it was around the block. And I like my ice cream, but I'm not going to stand there for an hour for an ice cream cone. So we moved on.
We ended up at Kilwins. I think the first place was Port Jeff Ice Cream, so check that out if the line's not so long. We ended up going to Kilwins. There's one in Babylon as well. I know my daughter likes it there. How was your ice cream?
Kilwin's ice cream was good. They offered it to you in a waffle cone or a regular cone. I just wanted to try it, so I had a small cone. It was pretty tasty. As ice cream goes, what would you say? 8, 9 out of 10.
But we are supposed to be reviewing Ruvo, and I realize that. It's just like if you're going to go out there, if you're not in the area, I want to give you the full detail. Just one thing too, if you walk the town, there's a cute little bookstore nice. Like just go in the, I think most of the stores probably closed around 7ish would be my guess, or even before then. So just check the hours. But it was definitely a fun night. Overall for Ruvo, the atmosphere, the food, the drinks, what would be your rating?
I would try something besides the steak if you go there. I think, but it's good. It's quaint. It's a nice night out if you want to be a couple. There were some other people there, were children even. I think it's a nice night for any age, or a date night. I don't know if I would. I wouldn't order the steak, but some of the other food looked very appetizing. We should have tried a few of the appetizers as well, but we were moving on. We wanted to do the whole town while we were there. But what would we say? What would you give it? 7?
I was actually thinking a 7.
That's not.
Yeah, it seems low. I think because the meals that we chose, but looking around, it was crowded. They did have fireworks last night. We didn't stay to watch them, but the restaurant itself was definitely crowded as we sat there. More people came in. Depending on what you get, it probably is an 8 for most people. The reviews were good before we went. Like I always check out the reviews. There were 4.5 out of 5 on Google. But I personally think it was what we ordered, was the problem with us, because like I said, Joan, Bob's sister, loved her meal. So maybe just stick with the Italian meals. Again, I love fish, but swordfish wasn't a choice of mine. So yeah, if you're in the area, definitely check it out. It's probably a go-to for, I'd say, the Italian staples, and just maybe stay away from. Like if you're going to get a salad rather than a spinach salad with gorgonzola, I would do the Caesar salad if you like that, and maybe chicken parm or one of the other. The pastas looked really good, and I will say that although we didn't get it, the calamari looked really good. A lot of people were ordering that, so my guess was I didn't mention that to you, but it did come out to a lot of different people. My guess is that it was good because so many people around us were ordering it, and it smelled really good. All right, guys, this is Long Island Restaurant Review. Bob and Sharon, we will see you guys next week, or perhaps before then. We're on vacation this week, so we'll definitely be checking out some restaurants. But our goal is to review a restaurant once a week.
Okay, looking forward to talking to you again. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.